Hello friends, good morning, happy Easter, welcome to Sunday Life Dharma. Today we're going to still our minds and bodies by focusing deeply on meditation. Reverend Qi Gong will give a talk on the wisdom of the pine trees. But first, please join us in Qigong. Please make sure your feet are hip-width apart. And let's start to warm up. Let's warm up our ankles. Let's rotate our ankles in one direction. Change directions. Change over to the other ankle. Change directions. Okay, next, let's warm up our knees, hands on our knees. Let's rotate our knees in one direction, slowly. And change directions. Next, our hands go on our hips. Let's warm up our hips. Rotate our hips in one direction. Starting out slow. And we're getting wider and wider and wider. Let's change directions. Next, let's warm up our arms. Put your arms out to your side. We start with small circles. Gradually making them bigger. And really big. get smaller again. Now change directions, small circles, getting bigger, and really big. Okay, start to opening our gate. We breathe in and we breathe out. Deep dungeon breathing. Breathe in and breathe out. Now let's clean our livers. When we clean our livers, we breathe in, and once we breathe out, we make a S sound. Breathe in. Breathe in. One more time. Breathe in. Next, let's clean our spleen. We make a H sound, like the letter H. Breathe in. Breathe in. One more time, breathe in. Next, we clean our lungs. We're making a he sound. Breathe in. One more time. One more time. Now we clean our spleen, we're making a who sound. One more time. Now we clean our kidneys, we're making a chew sound. Breathe in. And lastly, we will do the triple burner. We make a she sound. Breathe in. One last time. Now, great endeavor for inner light. We will shake it out. First standing. Make sure you grab all of your worries and anxiety and just shake it out. Now we go to one side, shake it out to one side. Now we shake it out to the other side. Now we shake it out to the front. Shake it out to the back. Shake it out all the way to the top. And back to the front. Okay. Let's breathe in. Our arms come to the side. Breathe in. Our palms join each other. Let's breathe out. Bring our palms towards our heart center. Breathe in. And we continue moving downwards. Breathe out, opening our palms. Come to our sides. Push downward, breathe in. And breathe out. Bring our fingertips towards the floor, deflect the energy into the ground. One more time, breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. This time we remain at our heart center. Breathe out. Breathe in one more time. And breathe out. Thank you. Now please join us in bowing meditation to the Dharmakaya Buddha, Fourfold Grace.
With gratitude, I bow to the grace of heaven and earth, honoring the infinite source of marvelous existence. With gratitude, I bow to the grace of parents, ancestors, and everyone who has given me life and nurtured me. With gratitude, I bow to the grace of fellow beings, embracing the truth of interconnectedness. With gratitude, I bow to the grace of laws, which guide us to develop justice and freedom through Dharma and universal principles. Meditation is simple and easy. Anyone can practice it. Please take time to find your most comfortable position on the floor or in a chair. Now wiggle to release any tension in your body. Rock front to back or side to side like the pendulum of a grandfather clock until you find the point of perfect balance. Breathe in, grab all your tension. Breathe out. Release any mental or physical uneasiness. Relax your whole body. It is okay to slouch a little bit if that feels more natural. Just remember to let your mind's eye focus on belly breathing. Breathe and listen to your body. If your body agrees, gradually sit up tall. Gently straighten your spine without losing focus on the energy in your lower abdomen. You may start to feel your lower back growing stronger and your chest and heart opening. Now open your eyes softly and look straight ahead with a level gaze. Without moving your head or eyes, let your eyelids relax and drift downward to their most comfortable place. While keeping your ears softly aligned with your shoulders, tuck your chin in slightly and let your shoulders melt away from your ears. Enjoy the sensation of your arms and hands relaxing. Now bring your awareness to your tongue. Place the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth. While your tongue is relaxed on your palate, pure and clear saliva may gather in your mouth. This is a delightful sign of cool energy ascending. Smile at your calm and clear spirit. Invite your awareness to return to your lower abdomen, your Qi energy field. This is called the Danjan and is located about 2 inches below your navel. Your Danjan is the power center for your breathing. Scan your entire body to see if there is any tension, especially in your face and head, neck and shoulders. If your face or body begins to itch, simply note the itching and let it pass. If your legs ache unbearably, you may change position very slowly and quietly so that you maintain a calm stillness and honor the silent practice of those around you. When thoughts arise in your mind, do not be disturbed by them. Do not react to your thoughts or pursue them. Recognize that they are just thoughts. They will disappear by themselves. Continue to bring your awareness back to your Danjan abiding breath. When your mind is calm, concentrated, perfectly focused and at peace, you will rest in the realm of samadhi, deep meditation. You will no longer feel any distinction between yourself and others, finding yourself free from the limits of time and place. We are grateful to sit quietly together, finding the still point within. May we be here now, deeply aware of our ever calm, ever alert spirit. 영주 전지영이하신정 만사여외하신정 전지요와 동일체 가요 전지동신정 전지영기하신정 만사여외하신정 전지요와 동일체 가요 전지동신정 전지영기하신정 만사여외하신정 전지요와 동일체 가요 전지영신정 전지영기하신정 만사여외하신정 전지요와 동일체 가요 전지동신정 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 전지영기하신정 만사여외하신정 전지요와 동일체 가요 전지동신정.
Prayer for world peace, grace of heaven and earth, grace of parents, grace of fellow beings, grace of laws. O Dharmakaya Buddha, fourfold grace, may we take refuge in Dharma and be filled with compassion and wisdom. May we transform delusion into wisdom, greed into generosity, resentment into gratitude, discord into harmony, and hatred into compassion. May all nations grow and benefit mutually. May the strong help the weak, and may the weak learn and evolve according to Dharma. May all those who have died from world conflicts and disasters be delivered through all obstacles and be at rest. May there be peace throughout the world, and may all beings enjoy tranquility and happiness living in their original true nature. This we pray with our whole hearts.
Thank you, Adam, for your video giving us a glimpse of the temple gardens this past week. This morning, Reverend WontempleNC will share with us a beautiful Dharma talk inspired by her life among pine trees. Let us practice deep listening, and when Reverend WontempleNC concludes her talk, please feel free to post your comments and reflections in the live chat. Please now welcome Reverend WontempleNC.
Good morning. In this pollen season, yellow pine dust is covering everything like snow. Yet, if someone asked me to name one thing that attracted me to North Carolina, I would immediately say pine trees. I love pine trees, but who knew there would be so much pollen? I think I'm finally getting used to it. Whenever I walk in the woods, I inhale the comforting smell of pines and feel a soft carpet of brown pine needles beneath my feet. This brings back to a childhood memory. In order to cook, my family had to gather fallen branches, twigs, and pine needles for the fire. While attending the fire, I loved watching the bright orange color when those well-dried pine needles were burning. When I was about 6 or 7, I used to go with my mom, who raked pine needles in nearby mountains. She would make a big bundle of needles and twigs to carry on her head, and a small bundle for me to carry on my back. One day, a man appeared and shouted at my mom to put the pine needles back on the ground. He was the owner of the mountain. My mother pleaded with him to let her take the pine needles she had collected, but he refused and snatched her rake. My mom and I returned home with sad hearts and empty hands. At the time, in my hometown in Korea, Some mountains were public and some belonged to individuals. My mom would argue that there was no way to know the boundary lines between those mountains. The day we returned home empty-handed, I experienced scarcity, and the experience caused me never to forget how hard my parents worked with limited resources to raise their 9 children. I also learned to be tough and resilient from the challenges of external material conditions. And this led me to appreciate the spirit of generosity that can transcend individual ownership. Now, living in North Carolina, pine needles seem to be everywhere. Even in the temple parking lot, we frequently rake pine needles and pine cones into piles at the edge of the property. Whenever I step on pine needles during my walks, I feel the aching memory of my childhood and my parents' struggle. I also heal myself with the notion that in a world of abundance, there is enough for all if we are willing to share with a loving kindness. As you can tell from this story, I have a special nostalgic feeling about pine trees from my upbringing. Pine trees were always my favorite subject to sketch or paint. From their symbolic meaning, healing properties, and practical uses, pine trees in Korea are much appreciated. With the beautiful arched shapes, red bark, and fragrant evergreen needles, they can live for hundreds of years. There is a book called Pine Trees in Korea, Aesthetics and Symbolism. The author, Jae-shik Seo, describes pine trees as the faithful lifelong companions of Korean people who spend their lives sheltered in pinewood houses and upon death are buried in pinewood coffins. He describes how pine trees in Korea are like beautiful living sculptures, sometimes stretching straight up to the sky and sometimes growing gnarled and carved and twisted. As these trees grow old, they develop thick bark with deep folds and furrows, a roughness that slowly melts into oblivion when the trees die and decay into the earth. Because of their special beauty, pine trees are often used as a motif in Korean art, literature, and folk tales. You can see why I felt immediately at home with the pine trees here in North Carolina. But over time, I have observed that pine trees here are not the same as the ones in Korea. Certain species here are grown quickly for lumber, and many pines do not live very long. Some time ago, on a freezing winter morning, as I entered the Dharma hall, I heard a thunderous thump behind me. I turned around and saw that a huge, healthy pine tree had fallen down over our fence and across the whole parking lot. Soon after, fresh pine aroma filled the temple yard. I was glad no one was hurt and that there was enough distance between the tree and the temple buildings. That day, I learned that roots of pine trees here are not deep, even though the trees themselves grow straight and tall. What accounts for this difference? Korea's many mountains are composed mostly of granite, so the pine trees struggle to survive. Their roots must snake around many rocks to firmly hold onto the earth. Under the pressure of heavy winds, the trees bend and curve in order not to easily break. These forces challenge the trees, but also make them strong and beautiful. We all heard that. What doesn't kill us makes us stronger. To me, enduring hardship is not fun. So it is hard for me to say, welcome challenges, come and make me stronger. When I face challenging sensory conditions, two wishes often arise in my mind. I wish this challenging matter or the challenging person would disappear. Or I wish my ego-based self would disappear. Which one sounds more realistic to you? There are many moments in our lives when harsh and undesirable conditions can make us stronger and more resilient. I try not to forget that these challenging conditions can create more grace and greater benefit for me in the long run. The wisdom of pine trees. Facing daily challenges with an open, enduring mind and mindful choice in action strengthens our inner power. The beauty and strength of pine trees is earned by their not giving up and by their practice of endurance. One of our teachers, Master Chongsan, said, "It is difficult to endure hardship, but if you endure it again and again, your numinous elixir will be strengthened. It is difficult to be steadfast, but if you keep at it, your mind powers will accumulate, and you will attain freedom in all things." My journey from Korean pine trees to the ones here in North Carolina have brought me another special wisdom. I can let go of my expectations and appreciate things just as they are. Right after our new Dharma hall was built, I searched around everywhere to find an Asian pine tree, but I could not find any. Then our neighbor temple, Chapel Hill Zen Center, found something similar as a gift for us and planted a black pine tree right in front of our new Dharma building. As I had yearned to bring some Asian beauty to our temple gardens, I gave much care to growing this pine tree into a bonsai shape. Eventually, I realized that the pine tree could not grow like the ones in Korea. To grow into a classic curved line, pine trees require certain environment, which includes windy and stormy weather and a hard ground with a rocky soil. I think the conditions we have here for pines are much too smooth and peaceful. Living and working in the Carolina Piedmont soil, I cannot create Korean-style pine trees, but I have come to appreciate the vibrance and abundance of trees here and to enjoy the common characteristics of pine trees around the world. The wisdom of pine trees is helpful for me. My everyday struggle and practice is to let go of preconceived baggage and expectations from my cultural background. My wish is to share Dharma with all, but I am doing so with a mind that was nurtured in Korean soil, and I am living in community with people whose mind have been nurtured in American soil. Every day I am learning to become a true gardener who transcends the barriers of language and social boundaries. Thankfully, the spirit of pine tree resilience and determination from my ancestral roots continues to live within me as I adapt to and embrace Western cultures in my heart. Dear friends, would you like to walk with me among the pine trees? Who knows what we might learn? May the forest enlighten our travels. May the forest be with us.
Thank you so much, Reverend Wong, for your very thoughtful and personal reflections about pine trees and resilience and the ability for us all to embrace everything in front of us just the way we all are. I will never look at pine needles on the ground in the same way. Thank you, friends, for your very focused listening. You're welcome now to place a comment or reflection in the live chat, or you're also welcome to just sit in silence and reflection for a few moments. And friends here in the Dharma Hall, you're welcome to pair up and share your takeaways and reflections this morning.
Thank you for joining us. Happy Passover for all those who are celebrating Passover this week, and happy Easter for all those who are celebrating Easter today. We look forward to practicing with you next Sunday. And next Sunday is a very special day. It's Great Enlightenment Day, the anniversary of the enlightenment of our founding teacher, Master Sote-san. And so we will be celebrating with a special service at 10 o'clock. And then from 2 to 6 p.m., we will be having an open house. And part of that will be a special dedication to our new expanded garden, some traditional Korean drumming. There's a team coming, and also mini classes in the afternoon. So please come and join us next Sunday. And if you're around and you can volunteer to help us this week set up for next Sunday, that would be wonderful. Thank you so much. Please contact Reverend Wonggong or Reverend Ziyang if you're able to do that. And now let us transition to mindful cleaning up meditation. Thank you.
you.